Caddis Maximus here. This time a review with some Thom McAn 46150 work boots. So Thom McAn is a footwear company that's still around, sold at Sears and their subsidiary Kmart. I don't even know if there's any Kmarts around, and they've been sold there for years. Thom McAn used to be some type of retail store, and then somehow they transitioned into footwear, and they make all sorts of shoes. They're kind of Skechers level shoes, although Skechers doesn't actually make work boots, quote unquote. These are steel shank boots. They don't have a particularly aggressive tread. A couple things I was going to mention about these is I've worn these just a couple times, and I'm going to find somebody to give them to or just donate them. I only paid like $50, but they're just not very high quality. In some areas they're pretty decent. They do have a heavy canvas on the lower tongue, but it is not leather down there, and I'm not exactly sure why, because it's leather up here. They even have leather on the inside of the eyelets. They are pretty decent, all metal eyelets, 6 eyes. One thing that's a little odd is I do like normal eyelets at the top, but they have hooks on the second level, so that just seems a little bit weird. As the laces get loose, they'll undo from the hook. They won't fall out, but it could be a little bit annoying. With my Chinook boots review, I had mentioned that the material that Chinook uses, which is a synthetic kind of rubber-coated fabric, really holds up pretty well until they go under a lot of use. But as far as raw aging, it doesn't fall apart. These Thoms are much cheaper, and I want to show that. This is what looks similar to those Chinooks, but this is aged, and this is the low quality stuff just starts doing this. It's just crazy. It just totally degrades and starts falling off. So literally, you wear the boots like one time, and then this starts happening. It's really pretty disappointing. The other big disappointment that I had, well, besides that although the insole is reasonably comfortable, there isn't any type of absorption or softness. The boot's full sole is just one solid piece of rubber, so it actually sends quite a bit of shock through your body as you're walking around. They really feel a lot harder than they should be. And as further evidence here, for some reason the insoles just really got torn up just after a few days, and I think it's because they're made out of a similar material. They did have some innovative they had extra padding on the heel of the insole. If we look inside here, we can see that they have some kind of a blister pad on the heel as well. They added a lot of extra to try to prevent, to make them just a little bit more comfortable, because the actual soles themselves are just rock hard. It's really pretty surprising. They also have another oddity. There are some boots that are high quality. They actually use this piece of leather, and then the lower part's a separate piece, and then they sell them on the lip. I think I did a review of some Irish setters, much higher quality boots, although they weren't that great. Do a similar thing, but it's real. This is interesting on these Thoms because they do that, but for a visual effect. It's not actually built that way. They just pinched the leather around a piece of cord and then ran sewing through it. And I think that's kind of a poor decision, because if you're just in a little bit of rain or any kind of water, it'll want to sit on top of the boot and then soak through those thread holes. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They do use a Goodyear welt. I will have to give them that actual sewing. That isn't like fake sewing right there. And that's probably one of the better parts about this. So it seemed they kind of built a boot that was designed not to just immediately fall apart, but using pretty cheap materials otherwise. Anyway, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on these Thom McAn boots. These are sold at Sears. I'm sure they're selling a lot of them, and people are maybe thinking that they're pretty nice boots, but they're only reasonable, and that's in the $50 price range. As soon as you spend like $100 on boots, you can get something much better than these. So I just wanted to put this little review out there. It might prevent somebody from buying a pair of these who may be spending too much money and actually end up being dissatisfied with a kind of a hard boot. They're more of just a weekend warrior type of boot. That's the easiest way to say it. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Caddis Maximus out.